Something that I mixed up for a very long time are these two statements. I'm not okay. I am not okay. Versus, there's something wrong with me. I kind of thought they were the same thing. I would be like, I'm not okay. I'm struggling. I don't feel good. I feel a lot of internal chaos and pain. I am stressed out of my mind. I feel like something's not right. I don't know what to do. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I don't feel okay. I am needing relief from this feeling. I don't know what relief it is I need, but I'm going to go out and search it. I'm going to try to distract myself from this painful feeling. I'm not okay. So I would go like, from this feeling, I'm not okay, 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 which was going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I would go from there to, there's something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me. What is wrong with me? Why am I like this? And I used to conflate those two, stick them together, see them as kind of the same thing. It took me many, many, many years to start figuring out why those things are the exact opposite of each other. And it boils down to self-love. Now, we all know that self-love is important. Everyone's like, you need to love yourself. It's really important to love yourself. Yet, how does that translate into our understanding of the things we tell ourselves? It's really tricky when self-love means it's okay to not be okay. I am not okay. I am not okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to tell people that. It's okay to be that. I'm not okay. Translates into that, but it's hard to see why there's something wrong with me, which so often tags onto I am not okay. It's hard to see why that statement is actually self-hatred. When you kind of look at it from like a logical, sort of like surface appearance kind of point of view, it's kind of like, why is it okay to say I'm not okay, but it's really harmful and self-hating to say there's something wrong with me? Aren't those kind of the same thing? They kind of feel the same. I used to do that. I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm not okay. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Now, another thing that makes these things confusing and easy to confuse with each other is that they kind of feel similar in that they're both painful things. When you take a moment to acknowledge, I'm not okay, I feel really sad, I feel really stressed, I feel really anxious, I feel really upset, I feel really angry, I feel lost, I feel confused, I feel lonely, I feel unloved, I feel like crap, I feel unworthy, I feel rejected, I feel abandoned. You know, whatever that is, it's painful. And so you kind of go into that sort of like, I am not okay thing about yourself, and the pain comes up and is felt. If you go into there's something wrong with me, what is wrong with me, there's something wrong with me, that is also painful. But there's an essential difference. And maybe you'll be able to see it. So the I am not okay is about letting yourself be who you are. It's about self-acceptance. It's about taking a moment to actually care, actually give a crap about what you feel, what you're experiencing. If you're having a tough time, caring about that. So that painful feeling is all about like oh, you have pain. You are carrying pain in yourself. I see you. I hear you. I care about it. And you are allowed to express what you're having a hard time with. You're allowed to express your pain. That's one thing. There's something wrong with me. What is wrong with me? That is not about, that's not about, you have pain that you're carrying. Let me hear it. Let me hear about it and let me understand and let me give you my deepest empathy and care and understanding. That's not what that is. And there is something wrong with me. What is wrong with me is painful because it's effectively like someone coming along and beating you up with like an emotional stick. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like someone coming along and beating you up emotionally with a metaphorical stick. So they're just kind of like, what's wrong with you? I'm judging you. What's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. I don't accept you. There's something wrong with you. What's wrong with you? So yeah, that feels painful too. Both of them feel painful. So it's easy to kind of slip between the two and not notice that you're going from like self-love to self-hatred, that you're going from one thing to literally the exact opposite thing. Like those two things cannot be true at the same time. It cannot be true that you are self-accepting, understanding, compassionate to yourself, wanting to know about yourself, acknowledging and giving space for your feelings and how you are and what your experience is. If that's true, it cannot also be true that you're like, oh, the problem is you. You've got a problem. There's something wrong with you. You suck. Like you don't get to be who you are. And if you are, you don't get to be how you are. You don't get to experience anything tough and get compassion for that because the problem is you. There's something wrong with you. So like those two things, totally opposite. And yet they get mixed up all the time, which is why people find it really difficult to accept certain types of statements like, there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. Because they're like, how can there be nothing wrong with me? Because I'm not okay. And it's like, that's exactly why there's nothing wrong with you, because it's normal to not be okay, and it's totally allowed to not be okay. Humans often are not okay, not because there's something wrong with them, but because they're human. And so it's really important to learn to tell the difference between these two things. I kind of see it as similar to mushrooms. So some mushrooms are incredibly deadly and poisonous to humans if you eat them. And they look almost identical to other mushrooms that are delicious and 100% safe and even nutritious. Like, how can that be? They look almost identical. You've got to learn to tell the difference. You've got to learn to tell the difference between self-love and self-hate. They can look very, very similar in terms of like the thing you're saying, the thing you're doing to yourself. You've got to learn to tell the difference because one's going to be nutritious and delicious and bring about healing and strengthening and building you up, and the other is going to kill you. So that's why it's so important. I'm going to leave that idea with you, and the idea that you can feel with your inner wisdom and your intuition when something is coming from a place of giving yourself space and self-acceptance, and when something is coming from a place of self-judgment and condemnation.